And now, actually, speaking about love, yeah, speaking about love, they're actually working on a new version of Distant Worlds, actually. I'm not sure if it's going to be called Distant Worlds, but it's a new concept form that's based more on the love themes, So obviously, Terra, she's going to be in there, and, all the love themes of Final Fantasy, including Roses of May. Hope that's the right name for that song. But yeah, the Uematsu and Arnie, they're working on a new version for the Distant Worlds concert that's not going to be called Distant Worlds. I think I do have the CD. Actually, it's called A New World, and that's not to be confused with New World, which is Final Fantasy 13-2 pop song. But they're working on a new version of the concert called A New World that's going to have all, like, not all, but a good majority of love songs from the Final Fantasy series. So I hope that comes to Seattle. But the symphonies, it's not exactly cheap, so you can't see everything. But yeah, it's just a thing that makes an experience awesome is always a crowd, and that's something that cannot really be portrayed on a CD is the crowd. The people sitting next to you, the sitting behind you, to hear the responses. I know I'm repeating myself, but I think that's so true. I think it's like a movie. If there was no background extras, you wouldn't have a good movie. And the same thing is, let's say if you go to E3, for example, and if and when they said the announcement for Final Fantasy 15, which they did not yet, please, but let's say they announced let's just say if they announced the Final Fantasy 7 remake and there was no awesome reaction, the people at Square would probably say, what did we do wrong? But of course not, right? I mean, yeah, even Final Fantasy, you do have your flops, just like even Andrew Lloyd Webber has his own flops, right? But yeah, you're gonna have that, awesome crowd. And again, that's one of the things that makes a concert experience like Distant Worlds worthy of going. It's not only the music, but I think, you're also there for the crowd too. And also the other thing that I'm disappointed about is, sorry, no Nobuo Uematsu. He wasn't there. But he probably shows up maybe to the Tokyo ones, But yeah, sorry. So that pretty much concludes my review. Like I said, I don't really know how to be critical of anything, really. I mean, it's really easy to make me happy. I mean, if you have lots of action in something, it's easy to make me happy. I have seen some bad movies, or some boring movies, but if something catches my attention, and just draws me in, it's easy to make me happy. So I'm sorry if it's hard for me to be critical of and try to find the faults of the concert. So obviously, if you're looking for someone who's to be a little more critical, yeah, that person's not me. Okay, that person's not me. So yeah, of course, the last song was Final Fantasy VII, the One Wing Angel. They did play the Overworld song. Actually, I didn't say that. They did play the Overworld song of Final Fantasy VII, and I can't sing it, but yeah, I think Final Fantasy VII has some. Maybe Final Fantasy VII is probably one of the best because not only is the story good, but I think Final Fantasy VII probably has some of the best music in it. You may agree to disagree, but yeah, I think and actually Final Fantasy VII is one of the that's I think yeah sorry, Final Fantasy VII was actually the game that actually brought me into the Final Fantasy franchise actually, because if you asked me about 30 years ago, if I was going to go to a symphony based on a video game, I'd say no. Heck, back in 1980s, when I was going to see Phantom of the Opera, I didn't want to go. So, if I speak to young Derek from 25 years ago, he probably wouldn't, be excited about, seeing musicals or things from a video game, or he would think that only video games go, I just made up that tone. There is no tone. There is no music that goes like that. I just made that up. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So they played the Final Fantasy VII music, and that has awesome music. And again, that's the one song that was the game that actually brought me into the Final Fantasy world. So I do have love for Final Fantasy VII. And, in the Distant Worlds, the thing that I liked that Arnie did was when they kind of introduced each Final Fantasy bit that they were going to cover, Arnie would say, so do we have any Final Fantasy VII fans, or do we have any 8 fans, or do we have any 9 fans, or do we have any 10 fans, or 13. Yes, I gave 13 props because I think Final Fantasy 13 deserves more love. But oh yeah, they did play Final Fantasy 13 songs, "Blinded by Light," and it's kind of nice to hear those strings, for the song "Blinded by Light." When you play the video game Final Fantasy 13, you really don't hear strings in Blinded by Light. Yeah, they're there, but they're not it's a little different. The orchestrated version of Blinded by Light's a little different. If you don't know what Blinded by Light is, that's the main battle theme that plays during the Final Fantasy 13 theme. And I mean, battle music that plays during a battle. Oh yeah, and Arnie also said, "Oh yeah, there's one before we do Final Fantasy VII, or before we did the next song. I forgot the song that went before it, but he's like, there's just one song we have to do here, and that was the Victory Fanfare music. I'm not sure if you've been to a Distant Worlds concert. I never been to it. This is my first one, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to hear the simple battle music, dun. I wasn't expecting to hear that, but yeah, of course, everyone kind of laughed with joy when they heard that. So, I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about here. Yeah, so, oh yeah, one thing. I thought they were going to do answers, but they did One Wing Angel instead, but that was cool. One Wing Angel is probably a little better. But, the way that Arnie introduced went like this. Okay, for this last, well, he didn't even say last song, but he said for this next song, it can actually be said in one word. And I thought he was going to, I thought it was going to be answers, so I was thinking answers. And no, it wasn't answers. It was Sephiroth! That's what it was. That was kind of loud. But, and in fact, when they were playing that, he's like, okay, everyone. Right at the end, he's like, okay, I'm going to get, so he had someone at the piano, and he's like, okay, I want everyone to know the notes and sing these words. And when these words come up, I want you to say it, And I probably was totally off key. I don't know how to sing. I can fake sing, I can act sing, but I can't really sing. So I'm like, Sephiroth, but and every time it would come to that point, he would point to the audience, So, I kind of enjoyed, I like participation, so I think it's kind of cool that every time, Arnie pointed to us, that saying, Sephiroth, and it was even kind of funny too when the pianist, when he or she, played those three notes, do do do, I'm like, no, it's definitely not answers. It's One Wing Angel. But, it's these little tidbits that you don't get, on a CD that makes these live experiences more enjoyable, because you can't really, yes, if they recorded something live with with video, all video, then they can capture that. But, when it comes to a live audience, and when it comes to, the commentary in between, you can't duplicate that. You really can't duplicate that. You really have to be there. So, I think I've, spoke enough now. I'm probably starting to ramble. But I just wanted to tell you that I did have fun, and I enjoy singing Sephiroth. Oh, and I probably said it wrong. Yep, I probably said it wrong. Because even Arnie's like, he mentioned it wasn't Allegro or anything, but like the audience sung the wrong note. And he's like, no, it doesn't go like that. It goes like this. He said some sort of piano concept that, for faster or slower, the audience was singing it wrong. You probably could blame it on me because I don't know how to sing diddly squat, But, that little bit, that's what makes a concert enjoyable. Another thing that makes the concert experience enjoyable is, at the very end when they come up, like, when the conductor, like, leaves, and you think this, concert's going to be over, but then he comes back 3 minutes, not 3 minutes, but he comes back like 30 seconds later and does another song. He did that like 3 or 4 times, right near the end. So, I think that was cool, and you get a good audience reaction too. He steps down from his little, not pulpit, but from his conductor stand. He goes to his little door, closes his door on the side, and then comes back. And then also, when they had the tenor, soprano, and I'm not sure if there's a bass guy in Draco. I'm not sure. But when they brought out the singers and they did the song for Maria and Draco for Final Fantasy VI, when they were done with that song, then of course those three singers, they went back through that door on the stage right. They went back through the door, and I guess maybe they thought they were done. But no, they didn't do their bow yet. You gotta do your bow, right? So Arnie, he went back to, from his little conductor stand, and he went back in the door again for the umpteenth time, and then brought up the singers who sung Maria and Draco, and they got a good encore. So. Well, maybe that's the wrong word. I'm not sure if it's encore or they got definitely good applause, and people were impressed with the soprano. I forget her name. So yeah, it was definitely an enjoyable experience. Well, there's one more thing. You probably want to know what kind of merchandise I got, because earlier I said, okay, let's see if they have anything to buy here, Derek. Yuck. Okay. But, but yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they definitely did have some stuff to buy. But the line was so cotton picking long. But, hey, I mean, I've been a background extra, in movies and TV, so waiting an hour is nothing for me, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's nothing. I stood up for 4 hours. Heck, when I was doing War of the Worlds, I was on set for 17 stinking hours. But yeah, so waiting in line for, to get merchandise, yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's peanuts, dude. That's peanuts. No, I didn't say the other word. I said peanuts. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, it's like, that little rotunda I showed you when I was entering the concert hall, that little part, right before I sat down. That's where they had the merchandise. And the line was like, it was like half a circle, half the rotunda, I would say it was the full, radius is not the correct word, but I would say it was, out of the circle, out of the curved part of the rotunda, I would say a lot of the circle part of the rotunda, maybe it's not even called a rotunda, maybe that's the wrong word, but all you gotta know, ladies and gentlemen, that it was long. And also, one thing you'll definitely not see at a regular symphony that you will see in a Final Fantasy concert theme thing is Noctis. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Prince Noctis was actually there. Yes. I don't know if it was a girl or a guy, but well, yeah, of course they do have Emerald City Comic-Con, so I mean not yesterday or not today, but just like San Diego has their Comic-Con, Seattle, Emerald City, has our own Comic-Con. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't be surprised that people dressed up as Noctis, and that's the character from Final Fantasy 15. If you want to know that, if you don't know who Noctis is, then that's a guy that looks. He looks like a normal guy, but he kind of he wears all black in a black suit, you know, but his black pants are more like black capris. Yeah, you know. Although, you know, it'd be kind of interesting though. I think they should make a suit with black capris. Wouldn't that be awesome, guys? If they actually made a suit just like Noctis, you know, instead of it being slacks, they were like slack capris, you know, where they go down to your legs, you know. I mean, not your legs, but down to your like kneecap, you know, or your shin, half of your shin. You know, that would be awesome. Of course, you know, I heard another guy's like, yeah, I was thinking about dressing up like Noctis, but, you know, I didn't want to get my butt kicked. Your butt kicked? Dude, there's a whole bunch of nerds there, man. You're not going to get your butt kicked. Come on. But, yeah. You know, so there were some people that were dressed up like Noctis and some other characters from Final Fantasy 15, and I think there was someone dressed up as like Shiva. I'm not sure. So yeah, about the line now. Yeah, the line. Yeah, the good old line. Yeah, that was a long line, and you know, I even heard a guy that's like, wow, I can actually legally own a lot of this stuff now. And another guy said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I can, you know, I already said that. I can legally own all this stuff. Yeah, so, you know, because most of the time when you go, if you don't live in America, or if you, well, if you don't, well, let's just say it's hard to find Square Enix music in, even a regular CD store, and even in Seattle or San Francisco or in LA, it's really hard to purchase the music unless you go to like Square Enix North America and then you purchase it through them. It's really hard. But I've bought all my music legally through some eBay sellers, and then some I bought. Actually, Final Fantasy X, the Blu-ray, I bought that directly through Square Enix. But yeah, they apparently they sold out a lot of their merchandise, because you know it's a rare. It was the point is, it was a rare time to actually, you know, purchase merchandise, and people took advantage of it. So, you know, I was the last person in line because there's so many people there. I didn't even know where the line was. I'm like, what's this congregation? What's this congregation? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? It's really hard to find a line, far in the line. But, you know, once I saw Noctis, I don't even know who. I'm like, hey, this must be the end of the line here. Huh. Was that a double meaning? Nah, that wasn't a double meaning. Yeah. So, you know, when I saw Noctis, I turned around and went the other way. Seriously, it has no. If you dressed up as Noctis during that concert, you're awesome. That's cool. But it was not because of that, because that was not the reason why I turned around. It was because I couldn't find where the line was, because I was like going back into the amphitheater. I'm like, no, this is not the right way. So I turned around again. I'm like, oh, and then I finally found the line. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, now let's talk about merchandise here. So some merchandise stuff was they had the black T-shirt that's a Distant Worlds. And it's mostly black, and then with a little, I guess, angel thingamajigger insignia they have. You know, that's something that they had. But the cool thing was the Square Enix music, of course. Now, on the sheet, they said they had, you know, the soundtracks from Final Fantasy 5 through I think 5 through 14, or was it 5 through 13? I'm not sure. But they had a lot of the soundtracks available. So I'm like, yeah, can I get soundtrack 5 through 14? You know, because a guy behind me, he's like, yeah, I'm going to spend all my money here. And Derek McKean, that's me. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, Derek, he's going to spend all his money here too. Yeah. Sorry if that sounds a little goofy. I don't mean to act like goofy or anything. But, yeah. You know, that's what they listed. But apparently they sold out a lot of that stuff, you know, because people, you know, Square Enix is not rare in the sense that it doesn't have enough copies of things, but it's rare simply because it's hard to get at American CD stores. Well, even CD stores are starting to die off too, you know. You know, remember a thing called Blockbuster? Yeah. I think there actually are still some Blockbusters actually here in Seattle actually, but yeah, that's kind of off topic. Actually, I think they actually closed recently. I'm not sure, but the point is, again, it's rare, and I'm repeating myself. So the only thing that was available for me that I wanted was the Final Fantasy XII soundtrack. Now I have the Final Fantasy XII soundtrack, but it's the one on Tofu Records that I have, you know, so it's the revamped American version, I guess you can say. So at the Distant Worlds concert, I was able to get the full 4 CD Japanese version, and you know, and actually I thought they were going to sing the song on the CD itself. You know, I thought it's going to be the Japanese version of Kiss Me Goodbye, because generally that's, you know, the way that Square Enix music works. You know, most of their soundtracks, if there's a pop song, it's usually the Japanese version, and you know, you kind of have to search hard for the American English version. But no, on the full 4 CD Square Enix thing that's in Japanese, it's actually Angela Aki, she actually sings it in American English. You know, she actually sings it in American English, just like the one on the 2 CD, the Tofu Records one that I have. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I bought that, and so that was $45. And then I also bought the Distant Worlds, the Distant World CDs on 1, 2, and 3. And then also, I'm not going to unbox it because obviously I unwrapped it already, and you know, it's a CD. I mean, you know, there's nothing special about a CD, although it is Final Fantasy. But you know, I don't want to do that. Yeah. So the other thing that I got was the Distant Worlds CDs, and then I got the other one, New World. I mean, not New World, not the single, because that's not available here, but A New World. A New World, you know, that's going to be a new concert version of these Distant Worlds kind of thing. So yeah, again, so for the umpteenth time, I'm gonna end my review here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my review. I hope you liked it. You know, if you don't like it, you know, give it 3,000 thumbs down. And if you did like it, I mean, if you did like it, that's D-I-D, not D-I-D-N apostrophe T. But if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. You know I'm not as cute as a chocobo, you know, because chocobos are cute. And, you know, I'm generally not cute. You know, although my mom says I'm cute, but most people, you know, they give me probably like a 5 out of 10 or something like that. You know, I'm not as cute as a chocobo, you know. Chocobo movie, chocobo. Yeah, chocobo. Ride my chocobo. Can you ride your chocobo? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this very much, like I give it. And like I said, I'm not as cute as a chocobo, so I appreciate if you actually listen to this full review or this full experience. You're awesome. You're cotton picking awesome. Remember that. They're awesome. And yeah, so obviously, actually, some of the Chocobo stuff that they did cover. Actually, the Chocobo theme that they did cover was actually the Final Fantasy 13 version. So they showed these little tiny the little tiny baby chocobos, right? The tiny chocobos. I think they're from 11 or 14. I'm not sure because I never played the online games. Never played the online ones because I don't have a broadband connection. So it'd be very expensive for me to play those things through a mobile connection. So yeah, I think they were the little tiny baby chocobos. You know how Saz has that little baby chocobo in his hair and his afro. Actually, in one of the songs that they did, I wasn't sure if it's a chocobo song, but they actually every time there was a new movement, they go huh, and every time the song went huh, they would show that little chocobo that comes out of hair, not out of Saz's hair. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Again, I'm gonna go sign off, guys. And I hope from this review or this experience you can put together the pieces, from what I said and from the footage you saw of me and sitting in the audience. I hope you can kind of put together the pieces so it can kind of give you a visual illustration of what it's like to be in a Distant Worlds concert. Because that's what I wanted to do. I'm sharing my experience, my concert going experience with you guys. And so hopefully I was able to do that, If I did a bad job, again, give me 3,000 thumbs down. If I did an okay job, like at least a C-, guys. Come on, gosh. At least give me like a 1.8, Yeah, I'm recently getting some thumbs down. It's all good. I know I'm not entertaining. But, yeah, so, obviously, it's, as you can see, also I'm wearing a different shirt, too. It's not the black shirt, because it's, it's a different day. I couldn't edit this all out in the same day because Media Composer was giving me some issues and stuff. Oh man, gosh, that's a difficult, weird program. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to sign off, and I think that's enough about chocobos. Yeah, there's definitely enough about chocobos. Definitely. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye. What are you still doing here? Why are you looking at me that way? I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you never played Final Fantasy, you gotta love the chocobos. And there's almost like 12, well, I won't say 12, but there's a lot of versions of the chocobo theme. And they look like big chickens that know how to dance and swing. Okay, guys, I probably said enough. Have a great night. Bye.